What's up, guys and gals? What's going on? I'm your host, Mike Pugh of the FBC Virtual Channel, and you're tuning into DeepMotion. Now, I found this on the Ask NK channel. If y'all folks never been to his channel, let me bring you to his channel before I get into this DeepMotion thing. And thanks a lot for showing up, by the way. Let's go on to YouTube real quick and search for Ask NK. Actually, let's just type this in, YouTube Ask NK. The reason why I'm talking about his channel because he finds a great deal of stuff, and he pretty much does really good reviews of the actual video footage and whatever content technology wise 3D modeling based stuff. He really gets deep into it. So this is the Ask NK channel. I highly recommend for y'all folks to check out his channel and go deep dive into it and just get a gist of what he does. He's really good at it. So he recently brought us a video. Let me see if I can find the actual video, but it's about this DeepMotion. He does so many things that it's hard for me to keep track. So I try to track it down, and I try to curate his content onto my actual channel. So I'm not sure which one. I think it's this one here. It says AI driven motion capture. So this is in respect to the actual DeepMotion. So check out his version. If you want, you can check it out directly after this one, so you can see and kind of compare, how we both did our videos. But his pretty much is interesting, and I liked it, and it led me to this actual amazing software. So I'm mind blown by this. My mind is literally blown apart, but I'm gonna show you why. And pretty much, it is a worthwhile video, folks. I'm telling you. You will be blown to smithereens if you've never seen this before or what it can do. So basically, what is DeepMotion? DeepMotion has a great many facets that's built into it, but I do know for one thing what I could utilize it for is to take my videos. So say I chose to create a video of myself moving around in my house or outdoors or wherever the scene is at. I can take that video and merge it into their online platform. They have this online portal where you put it in. Once you sign up, you basically get to sign up, and once you put that video in, it will convert your video into an actual digital motion for a 3D rig. So an animatable character that you created. If you have created one, or maybe you got one from a third-party website, or you got one from somebody who created it for you, like a 3D artist or whatever the case may be, you can merge your actual motion through video into an animatable character. So it's like a Mocap solution using just a video. You don't have to actually have a Mocap suit or anything like that. So if you understand to some degree what I just said, this is mind-blowing, because the fact that you can do that and not have to have a suit to do it, it really blows my mind what's possible. So let me show you what I've been able to do. So let me try to go on to where I got my character. So if y'all know about my MakeHuman videos that I've been coming up with for about a good almost 2 years, I would say, on YouTube. It might be even a little bit more than 2 years. I'm not really sure how long I've been doing it. You know that it's been tough for me to be able to animate my characters because I'm not an animator myself. I'm more of a student in the animation realm, and I'm a student with 3D modeling, so I don't create my own 3D models from scratch. I pretty much use character generators like MakeHuman, and I also use other software in conjunction with Blender and many other differing tools. So it's not easy, but this is what blew my mind. Now watch what this character can do. I'm gonna hit the play. Now I got my character to do this through watching an actual video that I found on Pixabay, which doesn't make any sense to me. But now I'm starting to realize what's possible with using that DeepMotion software that I just showed you. It's more like a cloud-based software because it's something that you don't have to download onto your computer, which is amazing. It saves a lot of potential space on your hard drive. So you pretty much log in on the website, just like if you're going onto Mixamo. I don't know if y'all folks ever heard of Mixamo or use Mixamo, but I'll show you what that one looks like. but it pretty much is very similar in terms of what you can do with it. But the difference is the animations on Mixamo are pre-designed. So all the animations are already built in, and whoever created them for us, which is awesome, from Mixamo, they supplying us this ability to use it, and also through Adobe. Adobe basically bought them out many years back. So if you are familiar with Mixamo, and actually I'm gonna bring you back to this as to how I was able to do what I did in terms of how I got my MakeHuman character moving. It utilizes the Mixamo's bone structure or rig structure. So basically I went into my character generator of MakeHuman, which I'll show you now, the MakeHuman generator. I generated the human here, the digital human, and I pretty much, I didn't even have to export it. So I used the newer version of MakeHuman. I went on to Blender. I basically added him to Blender. Instead of having the cube, actually I added him with the cube on there because I was so excited. I didn't know, it could work, and I actually tried it and it worked. So I brought it onto Blender. I didn't delete the cube, so that the cube was actually down there below him. I went, let's see, let's go back. Now, this is not the version that I brought in. The original version human that I brought in looks a little different. So let's see if I could find him. Okay, that's part of the rig. What happened to his body? I don't know. Basically, it was in a T-pose. So the original one I brought in was in a T-pose, which I can show you. Let me hide this one. Okay. Can I hide anything? No, it's not allowing me to hide it. That's weird. Well, basically, I'll show you in another version of Blender. Let's go in. Pretty much you look like this. Hit the back arrow. This is him as well, but I did a little something different with this one. This one I actually brought in, and I did one by one. I had to create copy rotations as bone constraint type of, how would you say, alignment. So I tried to align the bones with the rig that I got from DeepMotion. So all of this stuff, you probably will understand what I'm talking about if you've got this far in animation and in rigging and stuff like that, and learning how to, manipulate pretty much the digital asset that you have, whether it's a animatable rig / 3D model. So right now it's in wireframe, but let me move it to something that makes sense. Okay, so this is what I first got, and it does not look that good at all in terms of the copied rotations. Let's see if I can bring out the bones. So basically I took one rig and I copied all the rotations onto the other rig, because the rig types are different, so the bones are different. And when I brought the bones from MakeHuman, the rig from MakeHuman, I couldn't directly translate everything from the original rig that I got from DeepMotion. So I'll talk more about that so y'all folks will understand exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go back, all the way back to DeepMotion. When I started in DeepMotion, I signed in, created my profile, whatever, and you'll see this eventually once you're trying to download your animations. I'll get to this point as well, but this is somewhere in between what I was doing. So I just want to show y'all folks, because I'm so excited that I was able to do this. Here goes the guy with the box. See, he has a little it has the little square, the Blender square right there. Like I said, I was so excited. I was trying to get it working, and I actually got it working, but I forgot to get rid of the cube. But this is a character that I kind of like downloaded the video from to get the animation built from the video. So this is just showcasing what DeepMotion will do for you. It will take the video and put the video in there, into the screen. It just kind of like embeds it into the screen, and it also shows your character moving around and stuff. So this is like somewhere in the middle of what I was doing, but I would have to go all the way back to the beginning for y'all folks to understand it. Because if you're new to this stuff, obviously you're gonna be like, what the hell is he doing? It looks weird. But for those who know a little bit about 3D, they already know, that this type of stuff is what they've been doing all this time, trying to come up with different ways to make animations work. So this basically is the video. Let me hide the video so you can hide stuff. This is the interface that basically DeepMotion is going to provide you once you get your video uploaded in there, and you get your actual, whether a custom rig that you chose to use, or you can use a rig that's built in, which is a default rig. So I'm going to go all the way back to the start, and let's go to the sign in part. Actually, let's see, go back to the dashboard. Nope, the dashboard won't work, because if you don't activate, you're not doing anything, you're not doing any activity on it, it's not going to basically work out for you. It's gonna time out and then go away. So let me log in, and I'll show y'all folks from scratch every little thing that I pretty much encountered when I first got onto it. So I'm telling you, this thing is crazy. It's mind-blowing what you can do. So I'm gonna go in. All right, we're getting in there, and I'm gonna put don't save. So basically, this is how it starts out. You get welcome to DeepMotion portal, yada yada yada, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, how do I get this working? So basically, you can click this Animate 3D Cloud if you wanted to. That's just the icon for the tab that you see over here on the left. So if you click that, it does the same thing. So I go back to the dashboard, I click here, it basically brings you to the same options. So these on-screen options are really important, because if you have a custom rig, make sure that the rig has specific qualifications, specific, how would you say, things that it requires, so that it has to fit certain requirements. Or use Mixamo. So whatever your rig type is, bring your rig over to Mixamo as a Bvh file. That's what I recommend. For those who already know about animation and all that stuff, and know about rigging and everything, just bring your character to Mixamo. How you do that, you go to upload character, and you can bring it in as a FBX or object file or a zip file. So now I found a little trick. If y'all folks don't get the textures to move over from maybe MakeHuman to Mixamo to DeepMotion and back to Blender. Actually, it starts from MakeHuman to Blender, and then from Blender to Mixamo, from Mixamo to DeepMotion, and from DeepMotion back to Blender. If you have issues with all of this in those steps that I just stated, then the solution for me that I found was this. You go over to Blender, and I'm gonna delete everything here because I don't really need it. I already know the steps and I know it works. So let's just delete everything. Well, except the light, because we really don't need the light. Well, actually we need the light, my bad. So I'm gonna delete everything here, and I'm thinking so fast, that's why I'm making errors with my speech, but it's all good. So I deleted everything. So we start from scratch. We got rid of the cube at the bottom. We deleted it. And if you don't know how to use Blender, this is not going to make sense to you, but it might. So let's move this up. So what we're going to do is go to File, and we're going to import. Actually, we don't have to import. Let's not import. We're going to use the import option by the MakeHuman add-on. If y'all folks been following the MakeHuman videos, you already know this part. So I'm going to click import because I got my character on MakeHuman already. Make sure your character is rigged on MakeHuman. So to do that, very simple. You go to Pose, the Pose tab on MakeHuman, and then make sure you go to Skeleton, which is defaulted to this option, and choose Game Engine. I think that works well with Mixamo. And also it works well with most things. But Blender, for sure, it will work well. So you use Game Engine. Make sure your character's in a T-pose, because you're going to need the T-pose to work out on Mixamo in order for the character to port properly to Mixamo so that it comes out properly and goes over to DeepMotion. So we're going to go Pose. Make sure you go to Pose. And then at the very tail end of these pose options, you could switch to different poses and stuff. We're not doing no karate kicks or anything like that. We just want a T-pose. So you go to the bottom, select the T-pose, and then now your character's ready and set. If you want clothes and all that stuff, you got to go to the geometries area and select clothing. from the options you have here. You can also go to community and try to get clothing from the community, but all of that is in a previous video I showed already on my channel, so you can check older videos to find that, or you can look for other people's videos on YouTube. Other than that, once you do that, when you click the import option, it brings it in. But what I recommend for you to do is to go to settings. You should have the MakeHuman community add-on on Blender in order to do all this as well. So if you don't know that stuff, you're not going to get to this part either. So you probably have to watch other videos on how to get that. But once you get it, I highly recommend for you to uncheck this enhanced skin material and enhanced skin SSS. If you get rid of that, you should be good, because then the skin will look pretty decent. What else do you have to do? All right, other than that, that should be that setting. You're good. Go back to mesh and then click import human, and the human will come in like this in a T pose, exactly how you set it up, and pretty much you don't have to do nothing else. So get rid of the cube. If you want to delete the cube, you left click select it and then hit the delete key on your keyboard, and you should be good with that. Other than that, that's it. So this is the solution. Once you have it built into Blender, leave this scene up. Don't get rid of Blender, because when you bring back the character, all the materials, all the textures are going to already be pre-configured, built into the screen. So when you import the actual file from DeepMotion, when you bring it back in from DeepMotion and you want to check to see if the animation works, it's going to automatically incorporate the materials, which is amazing. I didn't realize that, but it does that. Blender sometimes has that kind of smart capability where it stores the previously stated conditions of certain materials. So all that stuff will be pre-configured already. So you don't have to try to figure out how to get the textures back on. So keep that in mind. So now say you wanted to move on to DeepMotion, you want to export. So you go to export, you go to FBX. This is really important here. FBX files is what it accepts. And then you want to name it whatever you want to recognize when you move it over to DeepMotion. So mine's I did as test run 2. I did test run 1, but that was a FBX file that didn't work because I tried to use it as a regular MakeHuman file. Actually, test run 2 is the DeepMotion one. Sorry about that. So test run 1 is the MakeHuman converted FBX file. The very first version that I did of test run 1, it was another file type of FBX. It was an export directly from MakeHuman, and it didn't have any it didn't have much detail on it. It was something wrong with it, so I had to redo it, something to that effect. So let's export. Actually, I know what I did. I brought it into DeepMotion without going into Mixamo. That's what I did. So I had to redo that file. So once you export in that file name, whatever file name you want, .fbx, it goes to a specific file folder on your computer, and then you want to merge it onto Mixamo. So you go select character file, yada yada, and you build it in. So I'm going to show y'all folks that it works, so you can see that I'm not lying and it's not a joke. This is real. This is actually real time what's going on. So let's just change the character clothing. Let's do that. Get rid of that. So now let's get rid of the shirt. Where's that t-shirt at? Superman shirt. Okay. And let's change the character to a female. I don't know. Let's move it down towards feminine. Increase the breast size, whatever. And actually, let's go back and change it a little bit more. We'll change it to a female with a female outfit. And we'll leave the sneakers like that. I don't know, whatever. So what do we want to do? We want to add hair, obviously. So add a little hair. That's your workout. And that's it. We're done. So we're going to export this. Just showing y'all folks the full process starting from scratch. So we're going to go new, general, don't save, get rid of the cube, delete it, and we're going to bring her in. So we go to the MakeHuman add-on, settings, uncheck some stuff, well, that one little check mark there. Mesh, import. There she is. Okay. Another thing that I chose to do is import at a very low size. So keep in mind you can change the sizing as well. So let's import it as a decimeter. So we're gonna undo. Hold on one second. Undo. Undo. Sorry about that. And we're going to set up as a decimeter size. I don't know how much that matters for DeepMotion, but now we brought her in there. She got textures. You can check if you want, but she got textures. So then what we're gonna do now, file, export, FBX. Very simple. So it's about 3 steps on Blender, and then you already got it ready for DeepMotion. And a few steps on MakeHuman. So we're gonna call her some Tabby. I don't know, Tabby. I got my caps lock on. Sorry. Tabby. And then we're gonna go to animation tests, because I got a subfolder within a subfolder for my Blender content. I'm gonna export. And now we're gonna select the character. You can drag and drop into here as well. We're gonna look for the Tabby icon and open. So now it's gonna merge it onto Mixamo, and it's automatically gonna be rigged. This is an auto rigger software, so it's gonna rig it automatically, and you should be fine. After you do that, then you can actually download it onto your computer as an FBX file. That's all you really need. You don't need the actual animated character or anything on Mixamo. All you need is an FBX file with a T-pose. So we're gonna go next. Once you're done, you see it's movable, it's animatable, things like that. So what we're doing is basically getting the rig. We're converting our rig from the MakeHuman rig to the Mixamo rig, because the Mixamo rig is acceptable and it meets all the requirements for DeepMotion. So that's all we're doing. That's what I'm showing you the process to do. Then we're gonna go to download, and it shows T-pose, FBX, and we're gonna download. And then that's that. And so after that, we're gonna save the file. Save it. It goes to your downloads on your desktop. We're gonna right click, cut. We're gonna put it into the folder that I want it. So we're gonna send it to my Blender subfolder and animations test. And then we're gonna paste. Actually, let me go back and change the name. So rename this. We're gonna call it Tabby 1, because the other one has the same name. I don't want to get rid of that. Right click, cut, 3 objects. Actually use the down arrow. Blender, animation tests, and then paste it. So it should be pasted right there. And that's just file management, which is pretty simple. If you don't know that file management stuff, you really want to get into that file management stuff. So after that, you go to DeepMotion, and now you're ready for your custom. So this is where you supply your custom character. So we're going to click custom character, and the thumbnails is not something that you really need at the moment. You're going to select model, and you can drag and drop the file there, or you can select that little tab and then you find the folder that you put it in. That's why it's important to know like how to organize your folders and stuff so you can find your stuff when you need it. Okay, so hold on one second. Oh, this is the motion clip. Nope, this is not the one. Let's X that out. Remove character. Go back to character type. Let's see, preview, download animations using a custom character. Okay, custom character. Why is it using this one? Hold on, select model. Something wrong. It keeps trying to use this character. I don't want to use that character. Yes, remove the character. That's because I previously used another character. Let's go back to the dashboard. Default preview, download animations, custom preview and download animations using a custom character. Okay. Something's wrong with the system. It keeps trying to use that same character that I used already. Let's go to new character. So I guess because I was on available characters, that's probably what it is. Select. Okay, I just now found out something that I didn't know. Tabby 1. So we go to that folder, make sure it's FBX, open, and then upload. Yeah, I didn't notice that it had available characters. I don't know how to get rid of those, but I tried to delete it. It didn't want to delete it. And now we're going to select the video file. And I used the river dance, which was really interesting. It's going to take a long time for that particular video. So actually, that's not the video, but the video is somewhere over here. So I got a river dance where a lady was dancing around and stuff. And I got this man walking, which you already saw. It's not actually walking. He's doing some funny dance moves. So I'm going to use the river dance. It takes a while for it to actually incorporate itself, but y'all folks been here for this moment in time for I don't know how long you've been watching, but it's been at least 20 minutes. But I think y'all folks will be willing to take a look at it. So I'm going to click open. I'll go to create animations. So this part, you don't really have to change much of the settings. So it's not that highly technical. It's just stuff that is displaying on the screen. But there's some requirements. You want to keep your video down to about maybe 50 seconds, I think. Something to that effect. Oh, 60 seconds. It says right here. So for best results, max video length is allowed is 60 seconds. Now keep in mind, this software right now, it's in more like a test phase. I guess is in a beta phase. And they're offering a certain amount of it for free for now, so for you to test. It may actually be available for 30 days. I'm not sure to that effect, or I may have used another software for 30 days, but for now you can utilize it and try it out and test it and see if it works. I'm not sure if they have a paid version or whatever, but it's pretty dope. Camera should be stationary, and all this stuff is about how you set up your scene when you're trying to record your video. So say you're recording footage of yourself, make sure your camera is stationary. So put it on a tripod. That's what I recommend. Make sure your camera's not jumbling around like in your hand and all that stuff. Character placement, the entire body from head to toe should be visible. So your whole entire body should be visible within the frame of the video in order for all of that footage to be captured and to be taken into effect, to transfer through using the AIs that they have available, their cloud AI software, and for it to detect the presence of the physical body moving around. And then it transfers all of that data obviously to your 3D avatar or character that you created in an FBX file type that you submitted, your custom character, or like I said, the defaulted character that they have built in. They got lighting. Lighting is neutral lighting with high contrast between the subject and the background, which is recommended. And then they also have occlusion. The subject should not be occluded by any objects, and there should be a single subject in the motion clip. Now, in terms of that, the actual video clip that I used is this video. And you'll see that there's a lot of different things going on in the background. But since the character is so close to the camera, I think it was able to accept all of the animatable movements. So it basically just needs to be a video of a character or a person moving around like that. If not much motion is going on in the background, it's not going to detect it. Like this guy moving back here, it didn't detect that guy. So this is from Pixabay. It's a I can use this for commercial use. See, it says free right here for commercial use, no attribution required. But I'll give the credit for this person who uploaded it for us, Hirsch Felipe. Check out his location. You may be able to find videos that you can use as well on Pixabay. But I'm in the video search area where I found it on Pixabay, and so I chose to use this video. For some reason, the toes don't actually animate all the way, but that's not a big deal. That's probably because of the rigs. The rig type doesn't have the toes to animate itself. And I don't think it's that highly detailed to get the toes to arch like that and do all of that stuff. So keep that in mind. Everything may not come over, but it was doable. So let's go and click create animation. And it says clothing. Do not wear loose clothing or clothing that covers key joints like knees and elbows. So these are the things to be aware of to improve your animations for best results. But some stuff you can kind of get away with, like I showed you with this video. So you can see as not many people are moving, they just stationary. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. And then they have a big stage where you can tell the difference between her black outfit and the stage itself. If the stage was black, it probably would cause some occlusion problems, like they were saying. And these two people right here, or three people, are actually standing still, but they have black outfits. So I thought that would cause a problem. It may have caused a little problem with the movement of the legs or whatever, but I'm not sure 100% on that. But like I said, this thing takes a long time for it to actually transmit all the data in there. So it took me about, I think, about 3 or 4 minutes. But you'll see the bar is going to leap a little bit forward. The reason why I think is because the video is like 30 something seconds. So if you want animations to work out, just make small clips, like maybe 15 seconds or so, each animatable video that you're trying to create. That's what I recommend if you want to cut down the amount of time it takes for you to actually create the animations. But like I said, this thing is amazing. It's pretty dope. Now in terms of your results and correcting the animations, I'm not that great. I'm not a great animator. I'm learning, so I don't really know that much about how to correct the animations. But I have watched some videos on YouTube, and I can recommend some channels that you can check out where guys are getting into the mocap aspects of Blender, and they go and use Blender. See, it just jumped. They use Blender to actually work on the animations and to make corrections in some of their Bvh files, which is basically a mocap file type for motion capture data that you're trying to transfer and submit to do what this software can do. Also, this software supplies Bvh files and FBX files once you're done. So after it's done, as you saw, it goes to this viewport kind of thing, dashboard template area, whatever, and it gives you the ability to download the animations. But we want to check it out before we download it. So it has some quick screen options on the screen. It says hold down the left mouse button to rotate the camera, hold down the right mouse button to pan, scroll middle mouse button to zoom, and it has press key F to focus and I to toggle immersive mode. Immersive mode basically is for you to move out of the view of the scene that they show with the video. So it goes and pops the video in and out pretty much. So we're going to click OK. And as you can see, my character is doing the dance, but the head does some weird stuff. But I got it to work with the head a little bit. You see how the leg kind of does a slow motion coming down? You can zoom in and you can see that the character actually does almost exactly what the other character is doing, except for the toe arch. See, the toe does not do that arch part. But that is pretty dope. That is pretty dope. This is my MakeHuman character, by the way. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take her and we're gonna download her FBX files and all that. You can pause it if you want. You can eliminate the background, like I showed you, the background of the video. I just by pressing the I key on the keyboard. You can put the audio in there and then play it. Hold on 1 second. Let me play it and then remove this. So you should be able to hear the steps of the person's feet. See that? Pretty cool, right? So other than that, let me move out of this part. I'm trying to turn down my my volume on my TV screen. I'm using my TV, by the way. So what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna hit the download animations, and this is the screen that you saw a while back that I said you're gonna eventually see. So once you get to this part in this phase, now this is where you scoop up the animations and you move it back to Blender. So this is the Bvh file that you could use. This is the FBX. I recommend using the FBX if you're using a Mixamo converted character, because the FBX works perfectly. So we're gonna go FBX. We're gonna go save the file. See this option, it automatically defaults. Sometimes it tries to get you to open it. And then we're gonna take this folder, right click, cut. We're gonna bring it back to that folder that I created for my Blender animations. Animation test, and then we're gonna right click and paste. And we're gonna right click and extract all, because it comes in as a zip folder. And there we go. So now we have two different files that it supplies us. Both are FBX file types, 3 objects. One is a T-pose and one is the regular dance file pose. So now we'll go back to her scene here, and what we can do, we can hide all of her stuff. So we can hide her in general, her folder in the scene collection / outliner on Blender. We're gonna go to file and import the FBX. Once you do that, you go to your animation folder if you have one, or whatever type of folder you have, and then you're gonna access that subfolder for her. So I think it's this one, and we're gonna import, and it should bring it in with all the textures and everything. So come on, let's see this work. It worked for me on the other character, but it may take a little time. Right now Blender's not responding. See in the upper left corner. So it may take some time for it to merge in. It's taking a little time. Hopefully it doesn't crash or anything like that. I don't want to jinx it, but sometimes Blender does weird stuff. If you have those kind of errors, you just start over from scratch and try to do it until it works. Get going. You know what I'm saying? So, well, that's not working right now. We'll go out and let's talk about the Bvh file, because Bvh files I'm not really that familiar with, but pretty much this is a mocap file. You can go in, save it the same way, open the folder, and then merge it wherever you want to merge it. Right click, cut or copy, and then put it wherever you want to put it. So let's do that. We're going to put that over here. Right click and paste. And there we go. That's the Bvh file. And for some reason, it is not importing her. I have no idea why it's not importing her. Something happened along the lines of this being done. I don't know what's going wrong, but hit the eye. Let me pause this. Hold on 1 second. Move up the screen. There we go. Hit the eye and pause that bad boy. So there she is. She came in. All right, so she's finally in the screen. It took a little time, obviously. And let's see. All her textures are not in. Wow, interesting. So for some reason her textures did not come in, but I had her textures come in before, maybe because it was not her textures, but I had the other guy's textures come in. Maybe part of the textures are not coming in for a reason. I'm not sure. If you want to correct the textures, it's not hard. Let's go in and just see what we can do real quick. We'll go to the shader editor, see what's wrong with that, and we can just copy the textures from the other character. So we'll take the diffuse texture, Control C, and then we'll switch to hers, and then Control V, and just connect the color node to the base node. Boom. So that fixed that. And we're gonna fix the hair texture. We don't need these two, but I'll just copy them just for shits and giggles. So let's see how they have it connected. The color to the color 2, and then we have the color to the base color from diffuse intensity. So we'll do Control C, click the hair, Control V, and we'll go connect there. And that's that. And then the eyes. So the eyes are very easy. Same thing. Control C, and then try to click the eyes here. Control V, color to base, and that's that. Oh, and then we gotta do the shoes. Let's do that. C, socks and shoes, whatever. And then the color to base. Boom. So there we go. Now all her textures are in. I mean, it didn't go as smooth as I planned it, but everything doesn't always happen the way you want it. So we're gonna go down, definitely using Blender. So, and now we're gonna hit the space bar. Before we do that, actually we got to go to the eyes again, and we got to scroll down over here in the material properties area, and we have to go to where it says blend mode and select alpha blend. That will bring the eyes color in, as you can see. If you don't do that, the eye color will stay and remain black. If you leave it at opaque, you see that? Which looks kind of scary. So we're going to bring that down to alpha blend. And there we go. And then we'll scroll this up and you'll see that it works. We're going to hit the play. And there she is, dancing with her head going crazy. Really, really cool. Look at that. Her head flipping around. I think I could disable the head bone from it moving like that so that I can correct some of the animations on that end of the spectrum, but pretty much it is a success, and this is pretty amazing. So pretty much you can use your mind and think up and brainstorm how far you can take it. It's up to you. You can create short films, animatable films, and all that kind of stuff. Also, in conjunction, you can use other add-ons, like the add-on that I talked about recently using I believe a mouth motion controller using a webcam. I talked about that, a way for us to use really, really unique functionality on Blender and through using MakeHuman Characters. Also, was it MakeHuman Character I was using? No, I wasn't using MakeHuman Character. I was using Emmanuel Bastioni Lab character. So let me double check the video. Look at that. See, it timed out. So let's go. Actually, let's go through here and go to my previous video on that topic, because I forgot the actual video's name. The video itself is, let's see, Face OSC. So we're using this software known as Face OSC for MB Lab, and it's through a really unique developer. I believe his name is Remo. Actually, let me see. I think I wrote it down. It's Remo Rickley. So Remo Rickley is the actual owner / creator of Face OSC for Connector, the add-on that he created in the past for Blender and for MakeHuman, and also for MB Lab, or Manuel. The older term for it was Manuel Bastioni Lab. So he created that. I'll show you the video here. But this is his video, Face OSC Connector add-on. You want to check out that video if you want to learn how to get your mouth moving for your characters. If you have a fully rigged character with the actual mouth motion capability, rigged into it, you should be able to move the face of the character. So if you combine all these differing steps that I showed, and in conjunction with Mixamo, you can play around and manipulate to try to get your character's mouth moving as well with the body moving, and you should be able to get the full mocap going. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna see how far I can make it work. But for now, it's just in theory. I believe it's possible. If he can get this to work, Face OSC to work with MakeHuman, then I can definitely assure you I can come up with a short film. Even though it looks it might not look the best, it may look kind of wacky and kind of low quality. I don't really care. I just want to get something out there that I actually can call my own, that I actually came up with on my own. Well, with the help of obviously third-party software, Blender, MakeHuman, Remo's Face OSC, stuff like that. And I'll give all the credits in the video once I create it. It may be like a short animated skit or whatever, but hey, that's how you start. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my goals, and I've been trying to reach for it, and that's why I've gotten this far with Blender and all other third-party software, to use these tools in conjunction with each other, so I can provide solutions for folks, but also have more like a pipeline for myself to create animation pipelines, etc. But definitely this tool, DeepMotion, is amazing. So it's gonna get you where you want to go. Obviously, with this type of stuff for motion capture, you can see the possibilities and what it can do just by using a video. I used a freaking video on Pixabay, and it got most of her motion into Blender onto my character, that's crazy. That is outrageously out of control on a positive scale. So other than that, I am out of here. This is the coverage I got on DeepMotion for now. My first day using it, trying it out, but thanks to all of the differing people that helped me to learn over the years learning Blender, I was able to get this far to be able to even display what I could do, to utilize these differing software, and in conjunction with each other, they all start to work magic, as you can see. So it's definitely worthwhile for you to dive in and try to learn stuff online. Everything I learned online, I didn't learn anything in school. So the file transfer stuff, all of that stuff, I learned, well, I was pretty good at it before I got into the online world, but in terms of file transfers and using my computer really well, I'm more of like a computer repair type of guy, technician. So that's why this stuff doesn't scare me. So I jump into stuff and I move head forward and I keep going. I keep progressing and learning as much as I can because I'm not afraid of this technology. That's the other thing. Some people fear what they're going to do if they make the wrong click, and what's going to happen to their computer, or how this is going to block them mentally and they're not going to get past this point or that point or whatever. I don't have any of those fears. The other thing is, my advantage is I was an engineering student in school. I was a civil engineering student, so I have a lot of technology background behind me. This is just not my career type that I selected to learn in like a collegiate system. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, that was some background on me and why it's simple for me to learn a lot of this stuff. I could fly through it. The average person, it's going to take them a lot longer if they have no idea what the hell they're doing. You know, they get to this screen and they're like, what is DeepMotion? It won't work if you don't have Blender background, you don't have Maya background, you don't have all these different 3D knowledges built in your mind and how to make them function. But once you get all that stuff and you understand it, it doesn't take that long to get through Mixamo and make it work, pipe something in, and then pipe it out to another tool. When I say pipe, I mean like pipeline, porting it out using the methods that I showed with the file exchanges and stuff like that. That's where the porting works. Import, export, importing a file, exporting a file, and managing your file folders and stuff like that. Like whatever you do here, right click, cut, copy, all of that stuff. It's very simple stuff, but it can be complex for the average person to get the gist of what they have to do with the file folders. So I think in the future, I'm going to create more videos about file management, how to create subfolders on your computer. Because when people get past those little hurdles, digital hurdles, mental hurdles of the technological form, makes 3D much easier, makes it easy for you to understand going from one software to the next software and how to make things work in conjunction with each other. Like going from one third-party software or 3D software to another one, like a object file type of software where you're creating 3D objects from maybe like a sculpt or whatever, and then you're moving it onto like a third-party software like Blender where you can animate it and do all kinds of really cool stuff. I'm really good at that kind of stuff. Transfer files, moving files back and forth from my web browser to my computer and vice versa, whatever. Other than that, that's all I got. Joe, love and peace to all. Mike Pugh signing off. I'll see y'all folks in the very next video, in the next one. I most definitely, I think I'm going to be covering the same subject, or let's go in real quick and I'll show y'all folks what I was talking about in a previous video. Let's see if I can find the website before I go. Actually, what was it? It was DeepMotion. It wasn't DeepMotion. It was FaceRig. Forgot the actual name. I'll get back to it, but let's see. FaceRig, and they have a most recent update for FaceRig. Animate, that's it. So Animate. Sorry about that, folks. Been choking because I kind of swallowed some. I swallowed something. I don't know. It was crazy. All right, sorry about that. So this is it here, Animate by FaceRig. I'm going to be talking about this in the very next video. Very sorry about what just happened, but it's live, so I'll probably cut that out. I'll cut it out once I edit the video. It was kind of funny too. So this is it here. I'm going to be talking about this. I tried it out. I tested it out. It's really interesting how it works. And you can actually customize your own characters and build it in. In the previous version of FaceRig, you could do it. This is the newer version of FaceRig. This is going to be what FaceRig looks like in the future. Animates. They're calling it Animates because I think they're trying to phase out the term FaceRig as software that they're using. So it says introducing Animates, the official successor to FaceRig. So this is the new evolution pretty much. And also they monetized it in a very unique way. So that's more focused on their end to survive, I believe, on a financial scale. Because FaceRig in the previous version, it wasn't really bringing in enough money, I don't think, over the years. That's my personal perspective and viewpoint on it. And that's what I think is the reason why they chose to upgrade it to another name and make it a whole differing asset, a set or suite of assets that are made available. I mean, it's pretty much the same software as FaceRig, but it has much more capabilities. They have an editor that's really dope, which you can access through Steam. All this is available through Steam. So you got to go to the Steam store, so store.steampower.com, and then you can get it. But other than that, I'll do more coverage on it. I'll give y'all folks a deep dive of what I've come up with it and what I learned so far. But most definitely, my aim is to achieve creating a custom character built into it, and hopefully I can get my MakeHuman characters to work on Steam. And that's one of the goals that I have. But I think I can do it. Other than that, I'm out, and I'll see you next time.